Edgar Wright is a British director and screenwriter whose films clearly display a unique comedic visual approach. He relies upon different editing techniques that come together to create an aggressive style that does not sacrifice the attention to detail. From the use of montage sequences to transitions, Edgar Wright twists the different resources to achieve a characteristic style. Wright films fit into what David Bordwell states is the visual style of contemporary cinema, which is an intensification of the traditional continuity system. This style, which he calls intensified continuity, has four main tactics that usually work in tandem: a more rapid edit, bipolar extreme of lens length, a closer framing of shots, and an increase in camera movement. The fighting scene in The Bourne Ultimatum clearly illustrates this: fast cutting with a constantly moving camera that keeps closing up on the action. This intensified continuity approach requires the audience to pay attention to those brief shots to try and make sense of what is going on.
I don't believe this.
For example, the opening scene of Hot Fuzz uses all these resources to notionally increase the impact of the image. This technique is dominant in Edgar Wright's style, particularly in his montage sequences. A montage sequence can be described as a quick impressionistic sequence of disconnected images used to convey passages of time. It can be used to showcase multiple activities, from drug use in Wrecking for a Dream to Elle Mills leaving her house to get to her car in a YouTube video. Wright's montage sequences combine the use of extreme close-ups, crash zooms, whip pans, and a meticulous sound design in an impactful and dynamic edit. These types of sequences have been mainly used in action films such as Evil Dead 2 or Commando, intensifying the process of tooling up. However, Edgar Wright uses it to emphasize on mundane activities to create visual comedy. For instance, in Shaun of the Dead, preparing breakfast is shown as a thrilling activity, and in Hot Fuzz, giving directions to elderly couples becomes exciting and kinetic.
No thanks.
Wright treats montage sequences aggressively and uses sound as one of his techniques to draw attention to the montage. For example, he amplifies diegetic sound, such as the clicking of the pen at the start of the sequence for comic purposes.
Not a problem.
He also uses non-diegetic sound to draw attention to the editing and the camera movement. Each pan is accompanied by a that seems to convey the sound of the air brushing past. His aggressive style is also conveyed by the use of close-ups, which draw attention to a particular object or expression, isolating it and increasing its dramatic effect. Wright usually uses it to create comedy out of humorously heightening the drama in a simple action such as writing down a date when filling out paperwork. All these close-ups involve fast camera movement, whether it is a crash zoom or a pan, which allow the movie to maintain its high pace but also demanding close attention from the audience, since the fast action cuts still work as bursts of information. For instance, in this scene, we follow Nicholas as he moves to Stanford, and we know the longevity of said traveling by small details such as the change of the mobile signal, which keeps getting lower until he finally arrives to civilization once again. It is clear that by betting on a faster cutting pace, Wright does not sacrifice information, being necessary for the audience to study closely every detail.
What? This is boring. Delete.
Another one of Wright's resources is the clever use of transitions such as match cuts and whip pans to draw attention to editing patterns and to keep the viewer oriented in speed and time. In the scene where Scott and Knives are out on a date, there are 4 different frame wipes and a short reverse shot transition. A frame wipe is an object or line that travels across the frame to pull the next shot in, and it is used to hide a cut. In this scene, Wright uses people walking by to transition while amplifying diegetic sound such as cars or clothes hangers to pull the audience deeper into the world. At the end of the sequence, Wright uses a short reverse shot to transition from the music shop to the street, matching knives framing in the foreground but obviously changing the background. By doing this, he forces the audience to interact with the movie to keep up with what is happening. What Wright achieves with his transitions is the building of a bridge to connect the shots while advancing in the story without sacrificing the rhythm, which is crucial to his overall editing style. Edgar Wright's hyperkinetic style is defined by Borwell's idea of intensified continuity. Fast edits, close framings, and dynamic movement of the camera work together to create a matchless comedic style that allows Wright to produce remarkably entertaining, funny, and energetic films that merge, defy, and twist different editing techniques.